the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on Vsin.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on Vsin, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy, action-packed 3-hour program lined up today. Our guests on the show, Tyler Shoemaker from Vsin. He'll share his college basketball numbers. We'll get into some projections for these conference tournaments. What is worth betting to win it outright? That's coming up bottom of the hour. Jeff Seeley on the Arnold Palmer Invitational with best bets, loaded field this weekend. And Paul Stone on college basketball. He's off to a great start in the Friday night contest here at Circa. So we will sprinkle in college basketball. Tonight's very busy card. Conference tournament numbers throughout the entire show. NBA as well. This current stretch right now for the Dallas Mavericks after last night's injury to Kyrie Irving is all-time bad. No hyperbole. So this is on the heels of the team completing the most ridiculous trade any of us have ever heard of in the sport, maybe even beyond that. And then for those of you who maybe just tuning in for the first time, Kyrie was hurt last night. He is out for the season now with a knee injury. So if you go back in time to when they let Jalen Brunson leave and got nothing in return for the guy, this stretch, when you throw in all the injuries this year and then trading a generational player, how do you get worse than this?
Yep. Good point about Brunson, too. Letting him walk and getting nothing in return. He's a superstar. As Zach Lowe said, it's an NBA apocalypse. You made this deal because you didn't think the 25-year-old superstar would be healthy and you didn't want to pay him, so then you are set up and looking at a short window. How long is he out now? Is he out most of next year? Is he out half the season? Who knows when he comes back now?
If it's ACL, right? He's a basketball player we're talking about, so I would assume he's not going to be back before, like, January 1st?
Probably. In the last month, Lively gets hurt. You trade your superstar and fan favorite. Then the fans go crazy. They have funerals. They demand the GM gets fired. You start throwing fans out of the arena for holding up signs and even mouthing, as one fan did, "Fire Nico." AD comes in his first game and gets hurt, hasn't played since. Grimes scores 44 points the other night. You traded him for Martin. Why? And then to put it up against a hard cap. Brunson wins Player of the Week. Lakers move up to the 2 seed. Yesterday, they announced they're increasing season tickets by 8%, as high as 18, 20% in other areas where it depends where your tickets are. Kyrie out for the year.
Low-key, the Grimes trade?
That too.
That should get more, criticism.
Yeah.
There was no reason to do that, right? And he was actually having a pretty damn good season based on all the injuries that the team already had when Luka was not playing. Kyrie was out for a little while as well. He filled in admirably. Now, let's trade him, go up against the hard cap then, and bring in Caleb Martin, who is a much older basketball player.
Yeah.
Okay, smooth.
Oh, boy.
What a run. How does this guy exist in the NBA, speaking of their GM coming up whenever his contract is up? How does he get another gig?
Yeah.
How do they rehire him?
How do you raise season tickets by 8%? And the other thing now at DraftKings, there's still $5 to participate in the play-in.
Yeah.
How? Like, if AD comes back, is he going to stay healthy? When is he coming back? Can we count on him? Everyone else is hurt. Gafford, Washington, Lively, AD, Kyrie out for the year. Who do you have? As Kidd said last night, we're running out of bodies. Oh, their schedule's tough, too. And even though we gave them up for dead and how bad the Suns have been, but the Suns, Spurs, and Blazers are only a couple games behind them. They can't be $5 to participate in the play-in.
No, I'd like to bet the no on that. This market is, I don't even know it's available anywhere in Las Vegas.
Hard to find.
I know that there is one book up. They only have the Eastern Conference. They have not posted the Western Conference in who knows how long. But so Dallas, you're exactly right. They're currently the 10 seed. They're 3.5 games up on Phoenix. Phoenix in action tonight. More on that game coming up in a little bit. They get the Clippers. And then Portland is only a half a game back of Phoenix. I think I don't know how this happened. When we talked about this going back, I don't know, a week, 10 days ago, Portland was 40-1.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to bet at DraftKings. So, we can't make the drive to Arizona to bet there. There's no point. And, no other book that I could find even offered Portland anywhere. They were 40-1. Wanted to get down, could not. They moved them to 25-1. Still a good number in my opinion. Somehow, some way today, I got a message, somebody took a screen grab. DraftKings reposted Portland at 120-1. And then, obviously, that caught the attention of some bettors. They bet it, and they had to move the number, and then they have, They moved them to 18 when I first looked at it again, and now Portland's sitting there at 12-1.
Oh,
but for anybody out there who was paying attention today and grabbed Portland 120-1 just to participate, that's all it said.
Yep. It's a gift. Gift from the gods. If you grabbed it, congratulations.
Maybe they were allowed to put $4 on it. I have no idea.
Yeah. Golden State, safe. Clippers, safe. Sacramento, safe. Minnesota, safe. Now, it's only one team, but between Phoenix, San Antonio, and Portland, the door's open now with this guy out for the year. And Dallas has a brutal schedule. So, you see, the Suns are now plus 350. And if you want to get nuts, well, who knows even what the Spurs are thinking the rest of the way. Although there's a back-to-back that Dallas has at San Antonio coming up.
Well, would you rather have the Suns at that number, or would you rather still go with the Blazers at 12-1?
Well, they seem like they care. They're playing hard,
They're
right?
really playing hard.
I mean, like you said, every night it's something coming out of Phoenix where Budenholzer getting after Booker. Quit talking so much. I'm in the huddle. You're talking too much in the huddle. Some people thought he was going to get fired. Durant, we embarrassed ourselves. I mean, this is their performance is what happened. So at least I got to go with the team that's playing hard and competing.
Sure. I mean, they're trending in the right direction on a bet that you want to be a part of. The Suns I want nothing to do with them on a nightly basis.
They can't stand each other.
Sure. And, even in their last game, they're playing Minnesota. That game, I think Minnesota went off the favorite there, but Phoenix was favored for a lot of that day. It was a good first quarter for the Suns, and they got blasted. They lost by, 18 in that game?
Yeah.
So here's the crazy thing. They've played L.A., the Clippers, 3 times this year. They have a regular season sweep to this point. They will finish off the regular season sweep tonight with a win.
I know. That is bizarre. Absolutely. It's just, you can't, it's an all-time 1-month stretch for an organization. And I know tinfoil hat guy saying, they want to move the team, whatever, but this is, I can't get over. You're worth $30 billion, and you raise ticket prices after you trade your superstar. As you say, read the room. Then you got, the owner with the crazy comments in the Dallas Morning News about, oh, my God.
Maybe there's something here. Again, the person who reacted to this, and it took off and it went viral the night or the day after they traded Luka to the Lakers, he said, I've been a fan of this team since I was 6 years old. Here's what's happening. And he laid it out.
Yeah.
And again, it took off, and people were sharing it on every social media platform in the world. And he basically said, this is a play for the Adelsons to move the team to Las Vegas. If they do not win people over there, and they've been lobbying for a long time, spending more money than anybody in that state to get betting and a casino there, if they don't get that, they're going to say, screw it, we're taking this team. And they just played in the finals like a handful of months ago.
Yeah.
Are you serious with this?
Yeah, it's like the real-life Major League, like the movies come to life. You just went to the finals. 3 years ago, you went to the conference finals. What are you doing?
Huh?
It's incredible. And you trade for a guy who's always hurt, gets hurt in the first game, and now you have this too. So I feel for Kidd too. I mean, he's right. They're running out of bodies. No one can play.
Sure.
But just based on that timeline and how, Brunson went off again. Oh, the Lakers are the 2 seed. Oh, Luka had 31 points.
Well, think about this, Paulie, too.
Like, Kyrie's out for the year, yeah.
They made the trade to have a better chance, in their opinion, to win a championship in a short window here.
Yes.
And they do this, and the guy they traded for is in worse shape or gets hurt more than Luka.
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis, hurt in game 1, like you just said, and then Kyrie blows out his knee. How is that short window looking now for a title?
Yeah. It was, 3 years? Now it's down to 1.5? Because who knows when he's coming back. Absolutely. All-timer. Incredible news.
Always got to be looking at this stuff.
Yeah.
Huge numbers out there on Portland, and they might be, they could, who knows, they might be in that play-in, one of those games that we have right before the playoffs start, which would be remarkable. College basketball tonight, the number 1 team in the country is in action. Auburn plays at Texas A&M. They're kind of holding tight here at 4.5. That's the number in the game. Total is 152.
Yeah. I
have them on a money line parlay. I paired them. You like San Diego State against UNLV. I paired them together at plus 164. I went volume betting today. So I have a bunch of bets, but they're not for as much as I normally put down on a game. So I decreased the bet size, and I just have more bets. They scored 1.27 points per possession at Kentucky over the weekend, and they've won 6 straight. Number 1 offense in the country at Ken Pom and Bart Torvik. Aggies, 4-game losing streak, and they gave up 89 to Florida, 86 to Vandy.
I know. How do you get in front of this train right now? They also can set a record Most quad 1 wins before the conference tournament. They have 16 quad 1 wins. And you still play Alabama this weekend, too, if you're able to get this one. I mean, what do they have, 19 quad 1 wins, maybe, going into the actual tournament? So based on how A&M's playing and how Auburn's on a roll, can't do it. I mean, they coming off the 30-point win against Ole Miss, too, and they got me as well. And Iowa State continues to go up.
Yeah,
9.5. They've won 12 in a row at home against ranked opponents. A key reserve could be out for BYU, but BYU, top 5 and 3s made, and they've won 6 in a row, a lot of them blowouts. Intriguing game, but Iowa State only one home loss on the season, that hiccup against K-State, but there were 9.5s earlier.
10s.
Wow.
10s earlier. You'll like this. That 6-game winning streak you mentioned, Bart Torvik, one of the beauties of his site is that you can break it down from any day throughout the entire season. Since the beginning of that winning streak on February 11th, his numbers indicate that BYU is the 3rd best team in the country. They're blowing all these teams out. Mm-hmm. Well, not all of them, but most of them. And I'm looking at projection sites tonight. Tyler Shoemaker on the program coming up in 20 minutes has it a 3-point game. Torvik makes it a 4-point game. Every single site that I looked at today has it way within the number. Nobody has Iowa State covering.
It's also big to get the double bye in the Big 12 tournament, and BYU got to get off the 8-9 line. Lenardi has them in 8. Get the MLB betting guide, opening day, March 17th, Tokyo, Dodgers, Cubs. Former reliever Jensen Lewis on pitchers. Team previews, general baseball betting tips, World Series odds, future markets as well. Vsin.com/subscribe. Get it today. Avoid strikeouts at the sportsbook. Become a subscriber today. $9.99. Get your copy of the guide. Vsin.com/subscribe.
More on the card tonight in conference tournaments. This is hitting at 65% ATS going all the way back to 2016. Paulie, have you had a chance to read the Vsin Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the Vsin Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
Hello, everybody. Dave Ross. It is Vsin by the Books. Join me and Jensen Lewis 7 to 10 Eastern tomorrow. Going to recap a massive day in college hoops and look ahead to Florida and Alabama, Michigan and Maryland as we inch ever so closer to Selection Sunday and the NCAA tournament. Plus, going to take a look ahead to a fantastic UFC 313 card headlined by Alex Bahara Politan against Magomed Ankalaev in a stellar field at the PGA Tour. It's Arnold's Place at Bay Hill. Join us 7 to 10 Eastern. It's Vsin by the Books.
This is Follow the Money on Vsin.
Much more on the college basketball card that we have coming up tonight. Bunch of bets in pocket today for yours truly. One of them is Georgia. I got them at plus 1.5. This number is like all over the map through the money line. So either South Carolina is favored at some books, like 1.5, or Georgia is favored 1.5. I guess I could play both sides and hope that it lands one. But I took Georgia plus 1.5. South Carolina just played the best game.
A perfect game, yeah.
Exactly right, yeah. Combination of that and Arkansas playing the worst game of the entire year. And Georgia they need all these games like blood. Not that they're going to win it, and that's not the reason why I'm betting them. I just think that they're a good basketball team, and I don't buy into South Carolina. And when you look at these projection sites, every one of them has Georgia winning that I looked at in a close game, but that's why I had to take it plus the 1.5. Tyler Shoemaker on the show coming up in 15 minutes has Georgia favored by 3.5 in this game. Had to take some Bulldogs, and speaking of South Carolina, this could be one of those games where I hate myself. I took Arkansas to bounce back. Vandy's good.
I know, but it's a lot of points.
Don't forget that Vandy should have lost in regulation at home to Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're laying 7.5 against Arkansas. This number just kept going up, and up. So I took Arkansas. They started 0 of 17 from 3 against South Carolina, and they were buried from the opening tip. I think they have a bounce back in them tonight, so I took the 7.5 here with the Razorbacks. You?
Good job. All right, good sell job. I love San Diego State. $1.40 on the money line. Last 4 buys according to Lenardi. Baylor, San Diego State, Georgia, Indiana. Again, this is a great program, and this is a game they always win, and they have always given UNLV fits, and especially out here. So they have a great fan base that travels, and they'll be here when the conference tournament starts. I just think they'll find a way to make the plays down the stretch and beat an average UNLV team and get the win. You'll be shocked how many games fall 1 and 2, though. But that's why I'm going to go money line here with this one. But I like the Aztecs. I like BYU plus 9.5. And I like the trash, too. How about Wyoming only laying 2 against Fresno? All the problems. Guys kicked off the team. They've lost 11 in a row. They're 5-23. God-awful record. They did show some fight against Boise over the weekend, although Boise, took them lightly. It was a sandwich game. How about Wyoming only 2 against one of the worst teams in the country with guys who betting their own props under and the mess there and the shenanigans?
Oh, you might be onto something there, Paulie.
I just see that it's also the embarrassment factor, too. They're so bad, and they've been in the news and under the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. You don't want to lose to this team as well. Look at 1.5 now. Fresno's terrible. One of the worst teams in the nation. So that jumped out as well. But the other game, there's so many bubblicious games here and so many games that mean a lot, like Ohio State and Nebraska. Lenardi, last 4 in, Ohio State, Arkansas, Nebraska, and Boise. And the Buckeyes laying 6.5. And then Oregon laying 7 against Indiana. We just mentioned Indiana last 4 buys.
Sure. We also have 3 more tournaments underway tonight. One of which is the Sun Belt. Now, some of these tournaments and these games are going to be, some of the, you think Fresno's one of the worst teams in the country. Yeah. Well, these conferences are saying hold my beer and take a shot at the same exact time. Because some of these teams in action tonight are going to be putrid. Every game in the Sun Belt is played in Pensacola. Arkansas State, they are the top team in the league at Ken Palm, Bart Torvik, and also Eric Haslam, his side as well. They're the favorite to win. They finished 13-5 in league play, but also they were 1-4 against South Alabama, James Madison, and Troy. I said this yesterday. The best number I could find here was James Madison plus 375. I bet them because they have that bye all the way into the semifinals. Mm-hmm. All they have to do is win 2 games.
Yep.
So I'll take my shot with that. And some numbers here to keep in mind. Steve Mackinnon has these at vsin.com. Small favorites in the Sun Belt have been awesome when they're laying 4.5 points or fewer. 33-14 straight up, 30-16 with 1 push ATS going back to 2016. Tonight, Southern Miss is laying 3.5. They get Coastal Carolina. And totals higher than 146 have trended under as of late in this tournament. 18-7 under the total, 72% since 2017. Neither game qualifies here, but this is why you need to bookmark this stuff. Go read it for yourself at vsin.com because it could apply later on in the tournament.
Yep, it's excellent. Yeah, how about the Horizon? Here's your trash, too. The Fighting Gottliebs are playing. Their season likely coming to an end.
Are you going to...
I can't. No.
You going to laugh me out of the room for betting them? I did. I took them plus 10.
You think they're hot?
Well, they're playing... Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Last 2 weeks they're covering games or winning.
Well, they beat Detroit. So we thought, how bad is Detroit that Green Bay was favored and they covered? Well, Detroit's played the Northern Kentucky. Detroit actually beat Northern Kentucky earlier in the season. So that's a big point spread, too. That's 13. So you got the early stages here of the Horizon League.
These games are on campus sites tonight. This changes. The semifinals and the finals will go to the same Coliseum when they actually play. But, yeah, I mean, again, they were the laughingstock of college basketball because of their head coach, right, for most of the season. But give them credit, man. Over the last, 5 or 6 games, they have some wins. They only have 4 wins on the year, but they won a couple of them recently, and they have covered these numbers. They just played Oakland. I don't know if this is good or bad, but this was the last game of the regular season for both teams. Went to overtime. I think Green Bay kind of blew the game, and Oakland got them by 3 in overtime. So now they have to win by more than 10 points tonight. I took them smaller bet again in that tournament. Robert Morris, overall 23-8, 15-5 in league play. Finished the season on a 7-game winning streak. Purdue Fort Wayne is the 5 seed. They are second ranked in the Horizon League at vsin.com, the power ratings there. Ken Pom has them third.
Really?
And they beat Robert Morris 82-77 in early December. Jalen Jackson averages 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.6 steals per game. So their number is between 6 and 7 to 1 to win it. They might be kind of a sneaky dog here.
Yeah. Some bizarre stuff. Horizon up for grabs, usually chaos. The 4 seeds favored in the Sun Belt. Bucknell, the big favorite to win the Patriot League. But strange stuff. Colgate's won it 4 years in a row.
Yeah, I took Bucknell. I found plus 135.
Did you? Okay.
So that's the reason why. They have 14 losses on the year, but 13-5 in league play. Highest power-rated team in the Patriot at Vsin, Ken Pom, Torvik, and also Evan Maya. They shot 54+% on 2-pointers, top 65 in the country effective field goal percentage, and the best defensive team in the conference. So I know Torvik gives them a 50% chance to win that tournament. So at plus 135, I like his numbers, and that's why I bet it.
Okay. How about point differential? Duke number 1, no surprise. UC San Diego number 2.
Ooh.
Gonzaga number 3. Maybe why their power rating's so high. Though they haven't beat anyone for months. Auburn 4, then Florida, Houston, VCU. VCU in action tonight and taking money. 14-1 run, covering most of these games. Lenardi has him a 10 seed. He was on with Stanford, Stephen Van Pelt last night. Those are good numbers. I think that's big with point differential.
Gonzaga's number 3 overall?
In point differential, yeah.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Well, I think back to some of the early games. They pounded Baylor. I watched the game that they played.
First game of the year.
Yeah.
But
they played Kentucky very early on in the season, and they had them, if I recall correctly, I think it was in maybe Seattle, something like that. I don't think it was a home court for Gonzaga. They were blasting Kentucky in the first half. Up by like 15 or 16. Pope made some incredible defensive adjustments, and Fuse players didn't know how to react, and Kentucky came back to beat them. But that first half, I'm like, oh my God, they might win the whole thing this year. Now, that's 3 months ago, though.
Yeah. Yep. I'll tell you, the big game there was West Virginia coming back. Gonzaga blew that game. We were on the air while it was going on. Gonzaga was up like 6 late, and they lost the game. I don't get West Virginia's a 3.5-point dog tonight against Utah. Lenardi has them a 10 seed. 4-8 in their last 12. The wins, TCU, 2 against Cincinnati and Utah at home. I don't know what I'm missing here.
Yeah.
Look at West Virginia's swept by BYU as well. I don't get that one. Also, VCU, 4 wins against top 100 and an SOR in the mid-40s as well.
All right.
San Diego's up to top 40 in the net, too. Lenardi did bracketology today. They're an 11 seed.
Let's hope they keep doing that, and then maybe if they would happen to lose to Irvine, they could still get an at-large. The numbers might be too good to ignore.
That's right. Potential second-round matchups. Duke against UConn. Gonzaga against Houston. BYU, Tennessee.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It's got Tennessee a 1 seed.
The contrast in styles. Gonzaga, Houston, you said?
He's got Gonzaga on the 8-9 line. Yeah.
Would you bet Duke to blow out UConn? It's every night.
Tough, I know.
And where would UConn fit in terms, if they were an ACC team this year, where would they be?
I know. Good question.
Top 4, top 5?
Well, you just say it's Hurley. If they had you would just worry about the Hurley factor because he's such a great coach. Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. Earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code FTM. Make money daily. Card never declined. Put money back in your pocket. You're betting anyways, you love it. EdgeBoost.bet, code FTM. Deposit $25 and they'll match it. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code FTM. Tell your family, tell your friends. No more waiting on the wire and no more over your limit. You got to pay outrageous fees at the cage. EdgeBoost.bet.
Tyler Shoemaker on the program up next. He puts his college hoops numbers on vsin.com every day throughout the season. We'll discuss some conference tournament odds worth betting based on his numbers next here on Vsin.
Sports betting game with Vsin's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to Vsin Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join Vsin, the sports betting network.
This is Vsin, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
More college hoops here. Tonight's overall card, and a look at a couple of futures outright winners for conference tournaments as Tyler Shoemaker joins us here on the Progressive Guest Line, the creator of the T-Shoe Index, and his numbers go up every single day on the website here at vsin.com. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Tyler, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Good to be here.
Yep. Let's start with this. Big one tonight in the SEC, I think, for Georgia. Paul, you said last segment, Lenardi has him now where? First 4 buys?
Yep.
So, okay, bubble team, though, still with Georgia. Have to have these games down the stretch. Playing a South Carolina team that, I mean, just absolutely massacred Arkansas over the weekend. Now, this number has been all around the money line today at different books, but what do you make of this matchup here?
Yeah, so I made this Georgia minus 3.5. So I took it early at Georgia +1. I would probably play it through minus 1.5. Above that would be a little dicey, but I'd probably play it to minus 1.5.
Okay, so all the way, your power ratings here on this game, they have the Bulldogs at 3.5-point favors.
Yep.
Okay, and that's up at vsin.com. New Hampshire, you're involved in their game tonight?
Yeah, like we were saying before we got on here, I dove in the trash a little bit today. I'm taking New Hampshire plus 18.5. I project that at just 15.5, so I'll take the 3 points of value here with New Hampshire.
All right, they're playing Bryant, and how about a total? Georgetown and Villanova.
Yeah, I projected this total at 139.5, so I jumped on it under 142.5. I'd probably play it to about 141.5.
Okay, currently sitting at circa now, the move here down to 142.5, the way it looks. In terms of outrights that you have for these conference tournaments, when you run your numbers, you run your projections, and you compare them, obviously, to odds that are available at various sports books here, what jumps off the page?
Yeah, so I used DraftKings as kind of my source of truth here on these odds, but in the Big South, High Point is a heavy favorite, and rightfully so. I've got them about 5.5 points above everybody else in that conference. However, odds makers have reflected that. Winthrop at plus 900, I think, is an interesting look. That's the 4th best odds in the conference, but I've got them power rated 2nd in the conference. So I think there's some pretty good value there on Winthrop. If you don't think High Point's going to run the table there, that would be the first one I would go with.
Okay, and 9-1, pretty solid number overall. Where do you have them power rated in that conference?
2nd.
Second best, you said?
Yep.
Okay, that's the big.
Yeah, so I've got them about 5.5 points below High Point. But obviously it's March conference tournament and anything can happen. High Point definitely is rightfully the favorite, but I do think Winthrop is worth a look there at 9-1.
What else do you like in terms of futures and all these? There's 12 conferences up with the odds now.
Yeah, I went to the OVC here.
Okay.
I like Little Rock at plus 500. Again, that's the 4th best odds in the conference. And again, I've got them power rated 2nd in the conference behind Southeast Missouri State. And that conference race in terms of my power ratings is much tighter. I've only got Little Rock about a point behind Southeast Missouri State. So I'll take 5-1 there with Little Rock.
And then there was one other conference, I think, too, right? So you have 3 outrights overall that you like?
Yeah, in the Summit League, South Dakota State has the 3rd best odds at plus 300. So not as much of a long shot here as the other 2, but plus 300, the 3rd shortest odds in the conference. But I've got them power rated as the best team in the conference. So I'll definitely take 3-1 on the team that I have as the best team in the conference.
Where do you have Omaha, who won the damn league? It's at the 4th. They have the 4th best odds, so the 1 seed.
I've got them 4th.
Wow,
exactly.
You do, huh?
Okay, that's wild because if the Tommies win it, they go as well. Do you have any futures in terms of the actual tournament? And if you want to jump in on anything at this point,
I do not yet. I will say I'll just give you my top 5 power ratings. So you can do with that what you will. I've got Duke number 1 by about 2 points, followed by Auburn, Houston, Florida, and Tennessee. I'll round out my top 5 in the power ratings right now. So we'll see kind of how it shakes out after the rest of the conference tournaments next week.
Yep.
As we head into Selection Sunday, I'll probably get involved at that point. But right now, I don't have anything in the portfolio.
Sure. Where are you at with Texas Tech? Are they top 10?
Texas Tech 7. That's actually, number 7. Okay. That's actually a team, as I was kind of eyeballing some of these, potential long shots, that's one that I would probably have my eye on.
So you made a good point. You want to wait till the brackets come out. I'm not going to kill you for that. That makes a lot of sense. If this is their region, if you can get, and they're 6-7-1 to make the Final Four. If they're in the West and Tennessee's the 1, Michigan State's the 2, Michigan's the 4, and Marquette is the 6, don't you think that's a decent, doable path for Texas Tech?
Absolutely. I've got Texas Tech above all those teams except Tennessee, and I've only got Tennessee about a point better than them. So I think that's a great point.
Wow. And that's what Lenardi has right now?
That's what he has right now.
In the region?
I mean, that jumped off the page when I looked at that today.
And where do you have Michigan State right now in your power ratings, Tyler?
Number 12. They would be about a 2-point underdog by my numbers to Texas Tech.
Okay. And another team I'm curious about, too. They're in action tonight. They're catching a huge number against Iowa State. Where does BYU fall?
BYU's up there as well. The number 16 power rating of about 13 points, which is about 9 points below number 1 Duke.
Okay. Strong. And then here's one for you, too. Gonzaga, because this back and forth that we've had with Richie Bachelari, right? What did he say he would make St. Mary's on a neutral?
6. Against
Auburn, right? He would make Auburn only a 6-point favorite over St. Mary's, and yet Gonzaga was just laying almost that same number to St. Mary's the last time they played when they were at home. Where do you have Gonzaga compared to a team like Houston, Auburn, maybe like a Florida or a Duke?
Yeah, I've got Gonzaga number 6. They're right outside the top 5. They're separated by with Tennessee by just a 1/10 of a point. So basically dead even with Tennessee in my numbers. So obviously the weaker schedule, but that's accounted for in my numbers. I would make them, if they were playing Auburn, I would make Auburn about a 4-point favorite against Gonzaga.
So think about that. There's a chance here where you're going to get that game, right, guys, where Gonzaga, if they fall on the 8-9 line and they win their first game, they're going to be getting like 3-4 points against all those number 1 seeds. Like, that's it. Like, it's not going to be much bigger than that.
Yeah, that would be a team, if I'm a fan of one of the 1 seeds, that is a team I would not want to have to play in the second round. That's a very tough draw for one of those teams.
What about UConn then?
UConn. Oh, I got to scroll down a little bit to find UConn. They're number 26. Number 26.
Okay. All right. You can follow Tyler on X. He's at TShoeIndex, and his numbers go up at vsin.com every single day. It's been great to look at and monitor here now that we're in March in the last previous weeks as well. Tyler, thanks for the time today. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be good. He was on the progressive guest line.
Well, the number's shorter if it's Houston. That'd be the potential matchup in the second round.
What are you willing to lay there? So
up to 5 with Houston. Houston against Gonzaga.
Yeah, Duke opens. Let's say 4.5 against Gonzaga. 5. You betting Duke?
Yes. What's Duke's? Yeah, and probably 8 against UConn.
I might not even lay the points. I might just do money line in a spot like that. Mm-hmm. If one of these teams, if it's like 3, if it's Houston, it's 3.
Gonzaga's got to get off this 8-9 line too.
Yes, they do.
And they're $1.45 to win the tournament out here. And, a win over St. Mary's would do that.
That's another thing. So again, every person that you talk to here is going to have Gonzaga. Tyler's told you the number 6 in his power ratings. So it's numbers based, right? It's nothing like watching games or just like it's not the eyeball test. Now that said, if they're on the 8-9 line, BYU's an 8-9 team as well, currently seated, according to Lenardi and some others who do this as well, and he's got them 16th in the country.
Yeah.
And their resume is going to look good.
There's going to be a lot of issues come Selection Sunday. Rest assured. They don't know what they're doing with seeding. Where you at with Memphis? 14-2 in league. Laying a bunch on the road tonight. Could be a 7 seed, could be a 6 seed. That's another team to throw into the mix, too.
I respect the daylights out of Nick Bogdanovich. So when he was on the show yesterday and he said Memphis is live to I think he pretty much said to win the whole thing, or they can do a lot of damage. Okay, I'm in.
Yep.
I'm listening then. You got my attention.
Good win the other day at UAB. Texas in action tonight. 5-11 in SEC play.
Oh, they have to have it.
They are first 4 out, along with Oklahoma, Xavier, and North Carolina.
And they're catching some serious points tonight, too.
Yep.
They're on the road at Mississippi State.
How do you sell that? How do you sell that on the selection committee? Well, I know they're 5-11 in league, but got a couple good wins. But
they'll say best conference we've ever had.
Oh man,
that's what they'll say.
As opposed to the teams that have 29, 30 wins too. Yeah.
Oh, let me give you another one too that you're going to hear. Like if they keep winning games, and let's say they would play Duke in the ACC title game somehow. This watch what North Carolina seed might turn into. And I'm looking at Bart Torvik again, his numbers. I want to get these in front of me here.
Yeah, they play Saturday. Yes. See what that number is.
Since February 10th, they are the 4th highest rated team in the country at Bart Torvik. 4th highest ranked team in the entire country per his numbers. So they're favored tonight by 7.5 points against Vodtech. 8 now.
Would have been playing.
No, that's
the other thing.
The ACC is basically, since they got their doors blown off against Clemson, they've been hot. But if they get Duke this weekend, and if that's competitive or they happen to win and then they would meet Duke again in the ACC title game, this will go from a fringe tournament team to like a 5 seed.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to break your TV at home.
Yeah. Syracuse, NC State, Virginia, Florida State, Miami. Okay. I mean, you're 1-10 against quad 1 teams. I mean, it's just... And Duke ran them out the first meeting. Fair point, though. If they're able to beat Duke and they get hot in the ACC tournament, you're right.
Win Some, Lose Some is up next, and we have Top 5 Tuesday. How about this? You can chime in here. Top 5 teams that will not win a title the rest of our lives.
Don't start betting the baseball season without it. Vsin's Baseball Betting Guide, exclusive to Vsin Pro subscribers. Inside, you'll get everything from tips on how to bet baseball to expert analysis on awards races, futures markets, and a full stats glossary that will help you sharpen your edge. Go to vsin.com/subscribe to sign up to become a pro subscriber to get this exclusive betting guide, as well as access to everything you need to become part of the Sports Betting Network. last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Not for nothing. How's that SGA Paul George trade looking out, too? Huh? SGA scores 50 again. Thunder win. He was 20-1 to do so. 5th time, I believe, he's done that. And it's like a 6-week stretch, 2-month stretch. Blazers plus 3.5 to -1. 8-1 and 1 ATS on back-to-backs.
I should have my head examined. It was sitting there at 3 the entire day until later on when it moved. I'm like, why did I not bet them?
Yeah. Hawks plus 250. What's going on in Memphis? Ja Morant, feel free to play, too.
Jackson also hurt 1 minute in.
Yeah, I saw that. Queens, nice call, Mitch. Queens, coming to America, plus 180. They move on to the semis of the Atlantic Sun. Northern Arizona, plus 250. The Sharks, there you go. Got one of those right. Ever going to play a 3-1 shot in hockey? That spot stunk for Toronto.
And they were down the Sharks were down 2-0.
They were in the third period, Yep. And they got the win and over a shootout. And the Blackhawks took out the Kings, no problem, plus 220, by the way. Hello, Kevin from Chicago, who said hello before the show and loves Portillo's. Subscribe, be part of the team, Vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. American Place Casino at the Canoe Bar sent this in. $5 denomination. Royale with cheese. Why is it always 3, Mitch? Dealt 3 to the Royal, playing deuces. King, Jack, bam! $20,000. Oh, what a feeling.
Do we know where that is?
No, I didn't see the city, but
quick Google search.
American Place Casino.
Says Waukegan, Illinois.
Oh, really?
Harry Carey would be proud.
Yes. They're here from Oshkosh. Look at this dog at the crosswalk in Waukegan. You don't see this every day. Standing up on the hind legs to walk, just like the human. Okay, I got it. No problem. People looking around like, what's going on here? We'll put a tent over that circus. Smart dog. Great job. The leash, the owner. Okay, you're good, right? Come on. They're looking around like, what's going on? And pause out.
High fives for everybody.
Yeah, right. Dog going over the crosswalk with the hind legs. Beautiful. Excellent. Lose some. You are right. Sixers, 1-14 ATS is home favorites. Easy money. Warriors over, 222 up to 229. No good. Wizards plus from 12 down to 8, loser. Thunder, 11.5 up to 15. Also a loser. Couple lose some videos. The dog, is the dog going to be delicate here with the egg coming in? Yeah, I'll give you the egg. Take care of it like it's your own. Oh, okay. No problem. I'll treasure it. I'll cherish it. I'll be kind. Put the egg on the ground. Maybe play with it. Stomps on it immediately. It's coming. You could see it coming eventually, right? What's he going to do? And Luke sent this in. Can this be from Darren Ravel? That is, I love it. That's the filet of fish at McDonald's. Someone paid $3,000 for an oil painting of the filet of fish. It's like the Costanza picture, right? An oil painting of a filet of fish sells for $3,500 on eBay. Just put something up there. You never know what it's going to go for, right?
Was it humans?
I don't think he's a filet of fish guy. Oh, I love it, though.
For years, it was my favorite fast food restaurant or sandwich.
Yes, right. I'm with you. There you go. Good job, guys. Want to know where the money's really going? Only Vsin gives you exclusive access to betting splits from Circa and DraftKings. Unlike other sources, our betting splits come straight from Circa and DraftKings, giving you insight into where the sharp action's landing. Circa takes huge bets from pros. DraftKings provides a broader market perspective. You're getting the real action, not just the public money, but the kind of wagers that move lines. See the percentage of bets versus percentage of handle in every game across every sport. Get this, along with the MLB betting guide and everything. Every best bet, every host, every guest, $9.99. Vsin.com/subscribe for your first month. Top 5 Tuesday.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a top.
You ain't first, you're last.
5.
That's not enough, Dad!
Tuesday.
I've been ready for this my whole life.
Top 5 Tuesday. Dollar bills, y'all. Follow the money.
This was on X. Very good. And it's hard to put a list together. If your life depended on a team, not to win a title, you die if this team wins a championship. Who's the best team to ride to the grave? It's hard, and you got to dig deep.
It's not hard.
Oh, come on.
It's super easy if you wanted to. Okay, I'll wait till 5,
though, right? All right, Sacramento, Las Vegas, Oakland A's, number 5. based on the owner and how they're running the organization. Actually made some moves in the offseason and spent some money and signed some people. Number 4, the Pelicans were a playoff team with Anthony Davis and then made the play-in with Zion. But other than that, been rendered irrelevant and also poorly run organization. Number 3, the San Jose Sharks. How about a playoff spot? Can you make a playoff run too? The Washington Wizards. I'm trying to think, go back. You had the Beal and Wall team that made the second round a couple times, once or twice. Other than that, not much. And poorly run organization, which ties into the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. And you said this last week. The most irrelevant franchise. They had Michael Jordan as an owner and nobody cared or paid attention. And when have they been good or at least competitive? And you can't get a star player. The Charlotte Hornets. Teams that won't win a title for the rest of your life. Top 5 Tuesday.
All right, so I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit here because I do think that you could almost include every single small market NBA team.
Uh-huh.
And you could also say like every small market MLB team.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
Pirates.
Sure, they come to mind immediately, right? And so, I threw a couple NFL teams on here, and they're not the Cowboys, actually. Because I think when Jerry Jones goes bye-bye, that's going to happen. Like, it's not going to be his team forever.
Yeah.
And once that stink goes away from it, then the new ownership can probably correct it. I have Jacksonville. No way, no how.
Wow.
Now, everything this team does turns up, it's the exact opposite of Midas, the Midas touch. Turns to crap. I don't trust anything to do with this organization at all.
Okay.
So they're not going to win a title in my lifetime. Number 4, I agree, it's the A's. Sorry. They've had too many good players, and they've shipped them off for, they keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Like the Pirates, when they're good, good players, they trade.
That's right. Yep.
And also you had your chance with all those good teams and couldn't get past the Yankees or would stub your toe in October.
Yep, spot on. So they're on the list. Number 3, here's a hot take for you. Your Minnesota Vikings.
Oh!
Not going to happen.
It's been so close.
I know. This is also like shots fired because I'm from the neighboring state.
Yeah.
So it's a little personal for me, and I'm like, they probably, they can win one, but I had to step out on a limb here and say the Minnesota Vikings. How many chances have they had? And they've just blown it over and over. You called them the most cursed fan base in the entire country.
Yeah, absolutely. Tortured, yeah. Cursed, whatever word you want to use, absolutely.
Yeah.
6, what is it? 8? Whatever chart said. 8 straight losses in NFC title games? 6, 7, 8?
Number 2 is my most tortured fan base, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, okay.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Why would I believe the Cleveland Browns are going to win a title in my lifetime?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, and number 1, as long as I'm taking shots, I got to do it my own team. The number 1 team for me as a fan, I'm still a fan of some of the stuff. Wisconsin football. That would mean more to me than any other team winning a title in any sport. They're never going to be on the same level as Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. You fill in the blank. They'll never do it. They can make a playoff. They will probably in the next 3 to 4 years, whatever. But Wisconsin football will never ever win a title, and it absolutely kills me. On X, Willie's winners chiming in. Your Hornets, the Carolina Panthers, the Cowboys. I wanted to say Cowboys, but I didn't. And he said almost every small market NBA team. That's another thing too. Like when a small market
Sacramento
team,
Kings, and yeah,
sure. And once they have the talent.
Yeah.
And they've been drafting. If they hit it right, eventually those guys are going to sign somewhere else.
It's not like it used to be, but still, it's if you're a superstar, why do you want to play there, right? Mm-hmm. OKC's got a great situation, but most cases, it's I want to get out of here.
This is from Canadian Online Sports Betting Insights. Number 5, Browns. Number 4, Raptors. Number 3, Hawks. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hawks have been a debacle for the most part.
Yes.
Colorado Rockies, number 2. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
I was going to put them on there because why would a pitcher want to sign there,
right.
too? Things have changed a little bit, but that's, yes.
He's got Jacksonville number 1.
Yeah, I'm with him on the Atlanta Hawks. You had the 1 year they went to the conference finals, but they couldn't even get past, they couldn't do anything with Dominique.
No, and they had great teams back then. Mookie Blaylock on the team.
Yeah, Atlanta Hawks is a good one.
On X, at Vsin Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. The email here is ftm@vsin.com. I also wanted to include this team on my list, but I didn't. Larry Matthews chiming in. It's the Leafs. It has to be. It's never going to happen.
I don't know about that.
I didn't put him on the list.
No, I'm not there.
You're not there?
Nope.
Okay. Who wins one first, the Leafs or the Cowboys?
Oh, boy. I'll say the Leafs. interesting about when the old man passes away. What happens?
The Cowboys, sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Because his number's going to be up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be Tommy Boy when they, taking over. What are those kids? They don't know anything.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah, sure. They could by happenstance luck into one.
Yeah, remember the Schottenheimer press conference, Stephen? Wow, the quote drought. Yeah, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
It's talked about a lot there locally.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Top 5 teams that'll never win a title in our lifetime. Up next, the Arnie Palmer Invitational. Next stop, PGA Tour. Jeff Seeley on the program. Betting advice next year.
And we're out.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to load funds into my gaming apps.
Stormy, really,